vanilla, coffee, flowers, oilseeds. We think these are key products which can help us in terms of increasing our foreign exchange earnings as well as employment opportunities, because we are seeing the government is investing a lot in the PDM, and PDM with this no time production is going to increase. So once production increases, what happens in terms of market? So as government, we have to open up market opportunities for the producers.
Exporters, however, have urged the government to address critical challenges, including intellectual property rights, branding, and market access, if Uganda is to achieve its export targets.
We want government to come and feel our issues. There are issues that need policy. There are issues that need finance. There are issues that need training, and all of those things put together. The opportunity we have to export our coffee, the demand we have. In fact, our challenge is not actually the market. The market is there. But if we bring poor quality product to the market, they still buy it, but at a low value.
Uganda tourism stakeholders are in Australia promoting the country's diverse attractions and investment opportunities in a high-level tourism trade mission.
A section of officials from Uganda Tourism Board and Uganda Wildlife Authority is in Australia, led by Uganda's High Commissioner to Australia, Dorothy Samilia, to benchmark on strategies of rebranding Uganda beyond wildlife, highlighting its rich culture, cuisine and adventure experiences.
We are home to the world's strongest waterfall. That's the Murchison. So the entire River Nile goes through a 7-meter gorge.
Uganda had martyrdom. Christians were martyred in the early 18th century as Christianity was coming to Africa and Uganda in particular. So every 3rd June, from 30 to 60, we have thousands, if not millions, of Christians converging into Kampala, the major martyrs shrine. It's called Nagongo Shrine.
The team has held town hall exhibitions and roadshows with Australian tour operators to attract investment in Uganda's tourism sector.
In amazing projects, we are also open to partnerships, private, public partnerships.
Like it's the agents like you guys who are here to understand from the core people in the country who are telling you that it is safe. They wouldn't want any tourists to come, obviously, and have any issues. So I think it also is there's a big job to be done in advising travelers and discrediting some of these websites because they have really unfounded information.
Among the proposals is a canopy walkway project at Bwindi Impenetrable National Park, expected to stretch over 2.6 kilometers and offer panoramic views of the rainforest.
As a Uganda Wildlife Authority, we call upon investors to come through and develop and construct canopy walks in Bwindi Impenetrable National Park, Shivale National Park, and various national parks. This will basically help us in enhancing the visitor experience and satisfaction.
It would add definitely another activity for people to do, and I think would encourage them to stay longer at the destination instead of just going for the gorilla trek. Another activity always adds more experiences and will encourage a longer stay, and I think at the end of the day that's what we want people to do when they're travelling to Uganda.
Now, foreign investors have been urged to maintain the standards and quality of products they sell to Ugandans and ensure timely payment. Meanwhile, the management of Chicken Global pledged to create more employment opportunities and provide a market for Uganda chicken products, contributing to the country's economic development.
Let's start with the box. Let's start with the box, this one, the packet. Make sure that
we serve our chicken in a big.
Halal, it is a set of requirements that are not only deemed prerequisite for compliance principles but also for a total and safety standards. So, brothers and sisters, what we call halal standards, it encompasses the numerous ethical concerns which include the general production network system directly from farm to fork.
Of course, we have advised them that as they come, they should pay the taxes very promptly. Of course, the taxes are likely to be very friendly. And the Ugandan environment where you find that the taxation is so high or unfair, you always appeal to the tax tribunal. So that is something that is very important. But to me, the Ugandans who are likely to get employment here, they should behave so well that they have to go by the etiquettes of this hotel or this catering services. Because one good thing with the Ugandans is that they look for jobs, but when he's given a job, he turns out to be very lazy and very rude.
So hopefully we will be opening many more stores over here. We are not going to stop only with one outlet. And as I mentioned in our speech earlier, like as an international brand, we have our own commitment towards the country. So we will contribute and help in more local job employment, and also we will support the suppliers locally. In that way, we will contribute to the economic development of the country as well. Thank you.
Some things from Uganda, like chicken, is sort of we get from Uganda, and some other people come from outside up to Uganda looking for chicken as well. Check the quality of the brand when you bring in any supplier. Then after we check its quality, then after we buy.
2, 1, 0. Yeah.
Vandalism is an offense punishable by up to 10 years in jail.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Inshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Ugandans! The unstoppable internet deal of deals is here with MTN Wakanet Fiber. Connect your home with our starter pack of 100 Mbps at only 99k. And if you want more speed for less, we've got you. Get the 200 Mbps at only 129k. And the fastest one yet? Enjoy up to 500 Mbps at only 250k. To sign up, use the My MTN app or dial *100 *23#. Offer is valid till the 30th of November for both new and existing subscribers. Together, our connection is unstoppable.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad you're still with us here in the UBC Weekly Roundup edition. I'm Lauryn Masaka Kazimoto. Now, just a few hours until the primary 7 candidates sit for their primary leaving examinations. Now, government has been urged to pay attention to teachers who are deployed on islands and in remote areas. This follows concerns that many of these abandon their duty posts due to fear of crossing dangerous waters, something that has greatly affected pupils in islands, especially those in candidate classes. Now, this was during a donation of scholastic materials to primary 7 candidates ahead of their final examinations. We have the details.
Many learners on Bwega Island fail to transition from primary education to secondary due to factors like inadequate scholastic materials, long distances to the one government-aided school, among others. As the primary leaving examinations draw closer, Bwega Island has 62 registered candidates to sit for the 2025 examinations at St. Martin Primary School, the only government-aided school on the island. The candidates, however, decry of inadequate learning materials to use during this period. They have received donations from the Rotary Club of Rubaga Lakeview and Egalite Foundation to take them through the examinations. The coordinator of this initiative, Katamba Wycliffe Semakula, asked the government to ensure that learners, especially those in hard-to-reach areas, receive the support and resources they need to succeed.
Today we are at Bwega Primary School, St. Martin Primary School, and this is one of the schools where we identified the need. When we were approached by the Rotary Club of Rubaga Lakeview, we were informed of the need for these students to have school requirements that will help them sit their primary 7 exams.
Staff members of St. Martin Primary School expressed gratitude to the donation, saying they would help the candidates to perform. Government was also urged to consider constructing a road or establishing a safe and more reliable transport means to the island to reduce teacher absenteeism.
And more so, even the girls used to have a problem. You see, those girls are grown up.
they had problems of when they go to their periods, they could absent. But now, because you people are helping us with the what? With those sanitary what? Pads. At least a girl can pad herself and she comes to school comfortably without even what? Fearing. So I thank you people so much.
Happy with our guest of honor for their support. They have provided us with requirements such as sets, pencil and others to help us in our primary living examination when we are answering.
Meanwhile, candidates at Hearts of Gold Primary School have been urged to remain confident, calm and focused as they prepare for their final examinations. During a dedication and prayer service held at the school, teachers, parents and pupils joined together to seek God's guidance and success for the primary 7 candidates. The service featured prayers, songs and words of encouragement as parents laid hands on their children, dedicating them to God for success in their forthcoming PLE examinations.
God has given you all the power as a parent, equally blessings.
The director, overcome with emotion, reflected on the candidates' years of growth and dedication, expressing optimism that this year's results will surpass last year's performance.
It is a long 10 years. I have mothered those children for 10 years. And it is a privilege, parents. I am very, very grateful that you could trust us. Trust me, trust Hearts of Gold for 10 years. As a school, we've had our ups and downs, our ins and outs, but a parent to give you a child for 10 years, that is a solid, solid relationship.
Parents were also encouraged to offer moral and emotional support to their children during the examination period, while learners were advised to maintain discipline and avoid panic.
Today is the day for you to tell your child you are the best. You will make it. You are my star. Let that child, something come out of that child. Give the child confidence, the hope.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Thank you, Mary Namukose. Now, this afternoon, we are very delighted to have a spokesperson from UNEB, and of course, something that is going to put the tension a little low for not only the candidates who are sitting their primary leaving examinations tomorrow, but also parents, teachers, and basically Uganda at large. Today in studio, we have Mrs. Jennifer Musamba, who is a UNEB spokesperson, and she's here this afternoon to hopefully put our minds at ease for some of the different, just like you've watched in this particular story, there are different challenges that teachers, not only teachers, but also candidates are having, you know, towards the preparation of their PLE. But just to start you off, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to join us this afternoon. We appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me, and a very good afternoon to all our viewers out there. Good afternoon to all the parents, the teachers, to our field personnel who are on, I know most of them are traveling. We wish them God's blessings. My name is Jennifer Musamba, like I've been introduced. I bring you greetings from the Executive Director, Mr. Dan Nokratyodong, and the entire staff of UNEB of the board. We are all very busy. This is going to be a very busy week. We are going to have 2 sets of examinations. We have the PLE going on, but also actually 3, but also UCE is going on the last week of UCE.
Oh, yes, yes,
and
indeed.
then USCE starts also on Friday.
Wow.
So it's the maximum of all, it's a beehive of activities.
It's a beehive of activities.
But God has given us grace, it is well.
Indeed. Now, just to start off for the primary leaving examinations, how prepared is UNEB as a candidate start tomorrow, the primary leaving examinations? And also, how many candidates are expected to sit for the primary leaving examinations nationwide?
Okay. Well, as a board, we already started the examinations because on Friday we had the briefing of the candidates at their various schools. But also for us, we started earlier the entire week. We are preparing the various categories of personnel whom we are going to be working with. So for us, it's been action for the entire week, and we thank God for that grace. And preparedness, indeed we are prepared. That was why we're working together with various stakeholders. UNEB at this level works a lot with the local governments, with the inspectors of schools at the district level, and they are really very key in supporting us and enabling us to do this successfully, because we wouldn't do this on our own. And in total, we have 817,000 885 candidates who did register for the examinations. 48% of these are females, rather are males, and 52 are females. So the females are more by the males by 4%. And that's kind of been the trend at this level. At PLE and at UC, we usually have the females more than the males. And then out of these, we find that 64% of these learners are sponsored by the government under the Universal Primary Education Program. This is for us a vote of confidence in the government programs and to all our UPE teachers and UPE schools. We want to applaud you so much, because if more people can bring their children to these UPE schools, it means you are doing a very good job. So we want to say thank you for a job well done, and thanks for handing over these candidates to us. We are ready to assess them. And out of these, of course, you find that we have some candidates who have some special needs. But maybe before I get to that, we find that we have there's an increase in candidature by about 2.5% compared to last year's candidature, which shows the growth that more and more people are bringing the learners to school, but also the population growth. So it is in tandem with the population growth, and we are very grateful for this. In terms of preparedness, as a board, we are very grateful to the Uganda National Teachers Union. They called off the industrial action, and this was a great relief for us, because now we know that the teachers are available for invigilation to do the field supervision. Because if they were still on industrial action, we don't know what would have turned up, what would have happened. So from the board and from management, we want to say thank you so much to the Uganda National Teachers Union for calling off industrial action, and to the teachers for turning up in big numbers. Over the last 1 week, we just started with the monitors, and then we had different categories of scouts and invigilators being oriented and being briefed. And so far, so good. Right now, as I speak, most of them are at their stations. Some of them are still traveling, but we're not all set for these examinations. We started distributing the examinations to our stations, and I am sure by tomorrow morning all our centers will be having the examinations, and in good time.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Kalule, for that. Now, what measures does UNEB have in place to ensure security and integrity of the examinations really? Case in point, the cases of examination malpractice that have been happening over the years. What have you put in place that is maybe different from what was in place last year?
Thank you so much. Of course, examination malpractice is the worst. You know, I mean, that's what would really hurt us so much. But there are different forms of malpractice. The worst form of malpractice is leakage, whereby at this point in time, today is Sunday and tomorrow is mathematics, and somebody says, I have the math paper. That is scratching Odongo's eyes, like, how dare you? You cannot have that paper right now as we speak. So we have managed to control the leakage because of the internal measures, and also we work with different security agencies to help do that. That is very critical. Now, the form of malpractice which is happening right now is, first of all, there's impersonation. You've heard of a case in Kagadi and Hoima where schools had registered secondary school students to sit for children. That certainly involves parents, certainly, and then the school administration, and even the school of the secondary school. Now, that is really that is a bad form of malpractice, because it needs to be detected earlier. And I want to thank God for our whistleblowers who did inform us in good time. So many schools, because we've tightened our nuts, and many schools are trying to see how else can they be able to do malpractice, which is quite unfortunate. We would want them to concentrate on teaching these learners so they can be able to do exams themselves. Because now such a child is going to get a very good grade. Take them to a school where they're not able to cope up, because they are assumed to have gotten a very good first grade, and they get there, they cannot do that. So please, teachers, instead of planning for such a malpractice, kindly plan to teach your learners. Teach them throughout the time. Because you see, what UNEB sets is for the entire period of the syllabus, many from P3 to P7. So for all those 5 years, clearly you have enough time to teach them and enable them to be able to answer the questions themselves. You need to build their competencies. You need to build their confidence levels. But if somebody is going to sit What kind of student are we grooming? Because you're going to tell me, Jennifer, these are your results. But I know some very well, Lauryn sat for me. Yes. Really, we don't want this kind of thing. It's quite unfortunate, but that's one of the forms of malpractice we are seeing. Another form of malpractice is external assistance. During the examination, the paper has come, teachers get the paper, they write the answers, and they begin giving the kids answers. That is really very bad, and it can lead to the cancellation of results of these candidates. It's so easy to get primary school children when they have cheated. Because what's going to happen, they're going to get the paper, answer number 1, number 2, number 3, answer them accordingly. By the time you bring them the answers, they realize that your answers are different from their answers, and they will try to scratch. They will try to cancel. And you see, for PLE, the question paper is the answer sheet. So you won't ask for an extra one to answer the questions again. So, and then the error can be, there can be an error when the one giving them the answers actually give them poison, katwa. There was a time we had somebody misreading the questions. I think something happened. So they put the answer for number 1 to number 2. And then the answers went on. And all the kids cancelled their correct answers and they put the wrong answers. Stupid answers. I'll give you an example. One of the questions we're talking about, one of the identification measures in Uganda, forms of IDs in Uganda. And then another question is about one of the, I think, ethnic groups in Uganda. So they interchanged Nilo Hamites and and they put their driving permit or something like that. Yes. So where they're supposed to put Nile Hamites, they put driving permits. Where they're supposed to put driving permit, they put Nile Hamid. You know, and the entire class. I mean, we just had to cancel all the results. So this is an adult who is misjudging, and they end up misleading these candidates. Yes. Kindly, we request you, make sure, let these candidates do the work themselves. And this brings me to the issue of the people we've deployed. You are asking, what have we done? Yes. One of the things we've done, we've deployed lots of people. We have about 60,000 people in the field who are going to help us with the supervision. However, if you are a scout, you are a scout, you are an invigilator, you've already been informed. Already you are, according to our senior legal officer tells us, all of us, we are all on the road to Lozera. Because the moment a malpractice happens under your watch, you are going to be asked, here and in heaven, what happened? Yes. If we cancel the results of those candidates, you are going to be answerable. And the UNEP Act gives room for that. UNEP Act Cap 259. There's a maximum sentence of about 5 years in case malpractice happens under your watch, or you can be imprisoned. You can be imprisoned for 5 years, or a fine of 10 million shillings. No, actually it's 20 million shillings, or imprisonment of 5 years. So kindly, our scouts out there, do your job. Please be there to prevent a malpractice to happen. We don't want to give us reports of malpractice happening. Give us reports of how you did prevent the malpractice.
Could you briefly tell us, because I heard you talking about you've also catered for pupils with special needs.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you, giving them inclusivity and also equal opportunities in this time, in this period of, PLE?
Okay, thank you. First and foremost, all candidates with special needs who are registered with us get an extra 45 minutes because we recognize that some of them, they lose time when they're trying to respond to questions or something. They are slow in one way or the other. So we give them an extra 45 minutes. And then depending on the need, the board does provide the assistance depending on what your need is. Some of them have low vision, so we print for them large print question papers and give them also answer sheets where they can write large print. And then others who have dyslexia, they have some writing or hearing or reading impairment, so we give them transcribers to help them write for them. Yes. Then we have those who have hearing impairment. Those ones we give them sign language interpreters. We have about 300 of them who have hearing impairment, and we have sign language interpreters for them. And then we have those who are blind, who visual impairment, practically blind. We give them the Braille question papers, but also the Braille machines wherever they are. And then that's basically what we do. And then we also provide for circumstantial impairment in the event, and God forbid this happens. In the event something happens, they get an accident and they're not able to write for themselves. Yes. So we call that circumstantial impairment. We would provide somebody, maybe a transcriber, and then we give them an extra 45 minutes depending on what the case would be. Yes. And we don't want to have this, but just in case it happens, especially at this level, in case somebody comes in and they're really pregnant and they have to move in and out of the examination room, we also give them an extra 45 minutes if they need it. Some of them, I hope we won't have breastfeeding mothers at this level, but you see, we had breastfeeding mothers, and we also give them an extra 45 minutes. We recognize that they also lose some time, and that is circumstantial impairment according to us, not because we condone teenage pregnancy, but because we know this is somebody who needs to do her examinations in a conducive environment.
Well, finally, Ms. Kalule, what words of encouragement do you have for the candidates who are starting their PLE tomorrow? What words of advice would you like to share? To the
candidates, what I need to say is, you don't need to worry. Please do not panic. Be confident. You've been doing exams throughout. Since P1, since nursery, you've been doing examination. This is just because this is a national examination, it's the first examination you are doing. But do not panic. Actually, in most cases, your NAEP questions are much easier than what your teachers have been giving you. And I want to thank God for all the religious leaders, all the parents who have been praying for our children. On Friday, Muslims joined us. On Saturday, we had SDA, and today Christians all over the country have prayed for our candidates. Thank you so much. We now hand over everything to God. We know God is going to handle. The Bible says God will teach our children, going to be their peace. So if He taught you, He's also going to assess you. So all is going to be well. All you need to do is please be in good time. Make sure you are at the center by at least 30 minutes before the examination. In case you get a challenge and you are to be late, you should be there. We'll give you a maximum of 15 minutes after the start of the examination. So please, parents who have taken day scholars, make sure you take them in good time. Schools which don't have centers, make sure you also carry your candidates to their venues in good time so they can be there to be checked, and all shall be well. We wish you all God's blessings.
Thank you so much. That is Mrs. Jennifer Kalule Musamba, who is the UNEB spokesperson. And you have heard it from the horse's mouth. Be patient, do not panic, and etc. We thank you so much, Miss Jennifer. Thank you so much for coming through and giving us that insight and also the words of encouragement.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and God bless.
Well, and that's all we had for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for your company. I'm Lauryn Masaka Kazimoto. Good afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Western Uganda and all